Hi everybody, this is just a quick sound check. Test 1, 2. And Jeff?
Check, check, check. I am here.
Episode 660, take 1. Hey everybody. Trust you are well. We are distanced from one another, as is the now normal.
Yes, indeed it is.
Okay. How do you like them legs? Ah?
Very not yet fully vacationed yet.
Yeah, a little bit pale.
There's a reason I've got long sleeves.
Do you want to do the
Intro?
Yeah.
All right.
Your stuff? You be Sasha too.
Okay.
I have yet to update the script.
Our live recordings are trusted only to solid-state drives by Kingston Technology. Revive your computer with improved performance and reliability over traditional hard drives with Kingston SSDs. Category 4.
Yeah, something like that.
Our live recordings are trusted only to solid-state drives by Kingston Technology. Revive your computer with improved performance and reliability over traditional hard drives with Kingston SSDs. Category 5 TV streams with... Oh my gosh, I can't read today. 3 weeks off. Just this is what happens.
This
Okay.
is what happens.
All right.
That's how it goes down.
Our live recordings are trusted only to solid-state drives by Kingston Technology. Revive your computer with improved performance and reliability over traditional hard drives with Kingston SSDs. Category 5 TV streams live with Telestream Wirecast and Nimble Streamer. Tune in every week on Roku, Kodi, and other HLS video players. For local showtimes, visit category5.tv.
Welcome back.
We are back.
We're back. Category 5 Technology TV is on the air. I had a bit of downtime. Did you get any downtime?
I'm always on downtime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that was really, really nice. Thank you to our community for continuing to support us through that, just a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
We've been doing this show for 13 years, and that's the first time we've ever literally taken a break.
Yeah, that's true.
We've had some downtime because of moving, but we're working,
Power outages.
right? Yeah, power. Yeah. But that's the first time I've actually just taken some time with my family, and it was just very enjoyable. So thank you very much.
It's good.
Speaking of the support of our viewers, the show would not be possible without your support. And I do want to give a real quick shout out. I've got a big long list here of some particular viewers who I want to make mention of. So just to say a big thanks to BP9, Scott Barkley, Ron Morissette, Jerry Kowalski, Jonathan Garby, Jens Nissen, ameriDroid, Noman5, Bill Marshall, and NICAD. Now, you folks supported us through the Kickstarter campaign to get us into this space. Of course, there are a lot more of you as well who participate in the show and supporting the show through our Patreon at patreon.com/Category5. That's a cool way to support Category 5.
Oh, it's awesome.
TV. I mean, the Kickstarter was to get us safely into this space, get us out of the old studio and into this one during a pandemic.
Yeah.
But the patronage is what keeps us going every single month.
That's right. Yeah.
I can't believe how quickly the first of the month comes up on us, and keeping on top of the bills, doing well that way. And it's largely thanks to your support, and I appreciate that very, very much. That makes a world of difference for us here at Category 5 TV, and we're working on getting some things done, and part of that is going to be unveiled tonight with ameriDroid's Easy Portal, a really cool,
that's right.
simple device. We've talked about it,
Yeah.
and I don't want to get too much into it right now, but we've talked about how owning a 3D printer may just be a way to save money by being able to create cool things that do a good job.
Yes.
And Easy
Yeah.
Portal is one of those products Bo at ameriDroid came up with that it's just so practical. And so just so you know, it's basically an easy conduit through a wall, through a desk, through ceiling tiles, whatever you want to go through. And it's completely customizable, but Bo has designed it and made it so that he can 3D print it at ameriDroid.
So what we're seeing tonight is 3D printed.
Yes. Yes.
That's flippin' cool.
So you can order those. We actually have them through. You'll see the links below, but also just go to ameriDroid.com. I'll mention the coupon code in just a couple of moments' time. But what I love about 3D printing, and when Bo did this, created Easy Portal, specifically because I said, like, hey Bo, how am I gonna get through this wall? I got this stupid ABS pipe running all the cables into the studio, and he came up with this solution to go through, drywall and 6 inches of air.
Yep.
And it just made me go, wow, Bo can invent and create, and then 3D print to bring his invention to reality. And it's like, that's what we live in. That's the world that we live in as far as how far technology has come. It's mind-bending to me.
It's true. It's not just ameriDroid. He's ameriInvent.
Yeah, there you go. But it just makes me think that 3D printing is like, hey, that's the next big thing. I think it's around to stay.
I think it has been for a while, the next
I'm
big
behind,
thing, but
I
now
know.
it's the thing.
But there's been such a slow adoption in the older community. And I'll say the older community, but those of us who, were working with computers in the 80s, 90s, I think, maybe that's a generalization. Maybe that's us here in Canada. Maybe it's a little different down south. But I find that we're very slow to adopt these types of technologies because it seems like a fly-by-night. It could fail. It could disappear. But now I'm seeing the reality of, hey, 3D printing, you can do some amazing things.
I think also the big challenge with 3D printing at the onset was the cost. Like if you wanted to get a 3D printer,
do you remember when
it was
the Toyo
crazy
3D
expensive.
was on our show? And it was like $2,000. And at the time, we thought that, wow, $2,000 for a consumer 3D printer, that's fantastic. Because at the time, they were $4,000.
Yeah.
Well, now you can actually go to our website, category5.tv, click on shop, and you'll see 3D printers there for $250.
Which is amazing.
What?
I know. Well,
And they do a better job than those $2,000-$3,000 units?
It's true. I love that we can go to our local library and
Well, we could.
we could 3D print like
Sans pandemic.
well,
Yeah.
well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we used to be able to.
But you could 3D print at the library. I'm like, this is how much 3D printing has become more readily accessible.
Yeah,
and it's
schools,
like, man,
yeah.
now I want to get a 3D printer at home just to print some cool stuff with my
No,
kids.
you have to if you want to do any 3D printing.
I know.
Because all the maker tech spaces and everything, at least here, are closed.
Yes.
Like we have tech spaces where you can, you used, well, just before the pandemic, we were able to go and just pay a certain fee for an hour's like worth of 3D printing or whatever. Now
yeah,
you can't.
not so much.
But you can get a 3D printer at home. No
Yeah.
problem.
Or you could just know ameriDroid.
Yeah, but this is my point. Bo owns 3D printers.
Yes.
And so when you say, oh, I wish I had something to do this, he can go, okay, I'll invent it, and then I'll print it and send it to you. That's mind-blowing.
Just totally cool.
That is so awesome. And I'm thinking about, okay, so now we are in a situation at home. I mean, the kids are supposedly maybe going back to school. I don't know if that's a good idea. But if they do, they have to wear masks. It's mandated. We have to wear masks anytime we're in a public space. So even here at the studio, the only reason we're able to take our masks off right now is because we're distant from one another, and I'm propelling my moist spittle this way. That's a little nod to our Prime Minister.
That's right.
But it's like, I'm thinking about having a 3D printer and being able to create hooks, so that, because you got to wash these things. I've been buying the like the reusable, right? So you can wash it and reuse it.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. But you got to wash it. So then I'm thinking, okay, a 3D printed hook system in the laundry room that just has a whole bunch of hooks, and
That'd be cool.
whatever. It's just like I could just do that.
Well,
Easy
exactly.
peasy if I had a 3D printer. So
I think you should get one.
Got to work toward that. Yeah. I want to remind you folks, another way you can support us, and even just to know that we're producing videos, is to go on to linuxtechshow.com, click on that subscribe and the bell so that you receive the notifications anytime we post new videos. And we are going to be posting tons of videos. And in fact, Jeff, when we left Studio D, there was a bank of videos already pre-produced and ready to go online that never went up. Because of the
right, because we're moving. Yeah.
So those videos are going to be going up. So it's going to be really, really weird. Over the next little while, you're going to start seeing videos coming out that seem new, that feature Jeff and Sasha.
Yeah.
So Sasha and me and Jeff standing at Studio D. Those are coming.
That's
in the
exciting.
Next coming weeks. Yeah.
Oh, I miss Sasha. Hi, Sasha. I miss you.
Sasha.
Now, okay. Speaking of YouTube and subscribing, how many subscribers are we at now?
Oh, what were we? Put me on the spot, Jeff. I don't know. Do you want to bring up linuxtechshow.com?
Well, because I know at some point, was it the last show? At some point, I do remember something about you. If we hit a certain amount of subscribers, you were gonna.
I do have to do a dance. Yes, I am bound now.
So
we met and exceeded 25,000 subscribers.
So we did get there.
Yes. So I've been working with a choreographer. I am very slow going on this because I'm terrible. I am not a dancer, folks. So, but that's to come. That's something you have to look forward to.
What kind of dancing? Like salsa or?
No, she's integrated. She's got like a little bit of disco, picking the apples. She's got a little bit of like head bobbing a la the Orville and the Mocklin dance moves. She's got all kinds of crazy stuff. So the Matrix, where I have to fly back like this, and so this is all like, so I got to just get the timing right, get the groove right, figure out what I'm going to do with my feet and my hands.
I can't wait to see
this.
So that's coming in the future.
It is coming in the future, yes.
You know what else is coming in the future? That's right. Jen and I were talking about this today.
Jen is his wife.
Yeah, it's my wife. We were talking about the Kickstarter that we had to get into the studio, and how there was this big uber unobtainable, nobody's ever going to do it. What I thought was a joke
Oh, let's just throw something crazy on that.
to go through simulated labor, and we still have to schedule that because somebody was nuts enough to actually.
I love nuts people, and you know who I'm talking about.
That's right. So we've got to schedule that, and
Yeah, we do.
Like we've got to get.
It's been a weird time, and this is the weird thing. It's like, okay, well, when do we do that? I'm not allowed to physically be any closer than this to Jeff.
I know.
So maybe we'll talk to Jen and see if she can hook you up and do some of the work for me.
The whole point of the paintballs is that Sasha was supposed 500 paintballs are going to get pelted with. Sasha was going to shoot me, so we got to get her back here.
Exactly. But see, our borders are closed at the province level, so she can't get out of her province into our province because she's had to move out east. So.
It's too bad there wasn't a way to like simulate, like use a Raspberry Pi with a 3D printer.
See, I thought about this too. A 3D printer to create a device that would allow remote shooting through an app of a paintball gun so that Sasha could do it remotely. But then I thought, if ever I created such a thing, I am opening a Pandora's box because I don't want to be involved in creating a remote targeting and shooting system. So it's like there's
fair enough.
I don't really,
well, just don't put it on GitHub.
It won't be on my Thingiverse. Yeah.
That's right. Oh, that'd be fun. So anyway, that's coming. But I was saying to Jen, I'm like, when it comes to that, we should almost do like an extended broadcast, and for the simulated labor, just be sitting here doing the thing, and just like normal contractions, you don't know when they're coming on.
Oh, you won't know.
And have some interface where.
Oh, that sounds good.
Where
where our contributor can
hit the buttons and adjust the levels.
Crank it up to 11.
Yeah, and just and
how's that sound?
It'd be neat if we could do that for a program. So take 5 years to develop that one.
I can do. It's not going to take 5 years.
4 years.
Oh man, yeah, I can already figure out how to do that.
Yeah, so that would be fun.
All right, folks. So if you want to help me turn a TENS machine into an app-driven, cloud-based device, and then be involved in controlling said device while connected to this guy's gut.
Don't do it.
While his wife is standing by, laughing hysterically.
The things we do for tech.
Oh yes,
it's good times.
All right, well, I mentioned the Easy Portal from ameriDroid.
Yes.
We have that to show you in just a couple of moments' time. Before we do that, though, ameriDroid, of course, as you know, is a company based out of California. We love them. And Bo and his wife have been here, Rosemary, to visit, well, not here in Studio E, but Studio D to visit the show. So get onto our website, category5.tv, do a quick search for, do a search for Bo Lichnowsky.
Can you spell that?
No, just search for ameriDroid or something. But yeah, and you'll get to see that video, and it was really, really neat to have them join us. But now we're finding neat ways to work together because I just love this company.
Oh yeah,
and
they're awesome.
We talk about right now in this time shop local. I'm up here in Canada. ameriDroid is down in California, but it still feels like I'm supporting local to shop through ameriDroid versus shopping through, say, Amazon or some of the bigger companies that you can buy things from. And even buying, even so much as to say, rather than buying directly from a vendor like the manufacturer of SBCs, I rather buy through ameriDroid so that I'm supporting them, and I'm also in turn supporting the SBC manufacturer because obviously ameriDroid gets them from them at a discount as well. So,
that's right.
So it's a cool way to sort of let it trickle down through a really great company, ameriDroid.com, and I want to help you to be able to shop there. So back before my vacation time, I mentioned, hey, we're going to be giving away a $25 US gift card for ameriDroid.com. And
25 US?
25 US,
That's like $1 billion Canadian.
$1 billion. So Jeff has come up with a novel way to figure out who is going to win because we have not got everything set up. We can't do a proper draw here. So you've come up with an app.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
thank you for your ballots, by the way. We had some. I printed out some that that said some really nice things about ameriDroid. Maybe we can look at those as well.
Absolutely.
And some of the ideas that they have. But do we just get right into it? So for a $25 gift card for ameriDroid.
Yep. Okay. So I've taken all the ballot entries. I've placed it into the app, and
Like a prize wheel.
yes, it's a prize wheel, and so it is completely randomized. I will flip it right here so you can
We
see.
can't even bring it up on the screen. It's spinning. It's spinning.
It's spinning. William Bauman.
Nice.
You are the big winner. What does William say?
Did I print Williams?
You did. That's how I got his name.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
I just couldn't tell you which one he is.
All right. William says, doesn't tell us where he's viewing from, but says that he'd like to put this $25 gift card toward getting a night vision for his Raspberry Pi.
Oh, very cool.
How cool is that? Some of the things that you can do with a Raspberry Pi and a camera are awesome. And ameriDroid is a great company to talk to about those kinds of things.
So would that
Using
be
them for
more so for like security camera at home kind of thing?
You could
or?
use it for that. You could use it for, for surveillance. It's great because it's an actual, camera attached to a single board computer, so you can do a lot more with it. You'd be able to set it up for RTSP, be able to use it to automatically upload to FTP sites, whatever you want to do. Very cool. Or I like the RTSP idea, being able to stream it to like a DVR or something like that.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
As a network camera.
Man, that's so much cheaper than buying like a full integrated camera kit. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you everybody for your ballots, and we really love reading through your stories and the things that you hope to do with things that you purchase off of ameriDroid. Of course, check out ameriDroid.com, and they have a plethora of SBCs, single board computers. So I get Raspberry Pis there, I get Odroids and Pine 64 devices that you see on the show. Plus, I haven't seen Arduino boards. However, there are Arduino pieces like sensors and things like that, and that you can add to your Raspberry Pi. Arduino's neat because you can connect it to the GPIO or the sensors and things like that, and be able to do some really cool things. We've done a couple of things like the thermal sensors.
Yeah.
You can see your hand.
That's when we proved I was hot.
We could use that to check people's temperature by pointing at their forehead.
That totally work.
We could use that same device. So there's all kinds of stuff at ameriDroid.com, plus Easy Portal, which you're going to learn all about right after this quick break. Stick around. Hi, everybody.
That went well.
All right. I'm glad he thinks so. All the time, we're not even on the air. I have no way to know. I have no on-air light.
We weren't on the air?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, jeepers. Gah! Don't do that to me. I was like, that was flawless. I was amazing. But I was flying.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's, so commercial rolls. You guys don't get to see a commercial. What should we sell them? Buy things
air.
At our store.
We will sell you
to
air.
our website, category5.tv.
This is the commercial.
Category5.tv. Click on all the stuff to buy. Buy things. Thank you.
All right. It actually supports us a lot.
That's true. It does.
Appreciate you using our Amazon links and everything else. And but let's jump into it. This is a pre-recorded segment, but we are here. I'm going to go grab my phone so I can join the Discord. Stick around. Remember, anytime you shop on ameriDroid.com, use the coupon code CAT5TVSupporter at checkout. No matter what you're buying, you'll get $1 off your final total, and 10% of the sales profit will be donated back to Category 5 TV to help us produce videos like these. We moved into our new studio space in the height of the pandemic. Contractors weren't allowed to work at the time, and even hardware stores were closed, so I couldn't get a conduit installed to run cables into our studio space from the production room. Nor could I even buy a hacksaw to cut up the single piece of ABS pipe that I had on hand. So I simply made do by drilling a hole between the two rooms, and I laid the ABS into the hole, and that was just there to protect the cables. And it's makeshift, and it's messy, but it got us through the past few months. But now I'm ready. I want to find basically a solution that is going to be more permanent, and it's going to look better. So I started looking into ready-made solutions out there, and stuff that I could do myself without having to hire someone else with, all the mad skills to do contractor work and everything. I wanted to be able to do it, save some money as well. So as it turns out, ameriDroid's Easy Portal product is exactly what I was looking for. It's designed for running cables between rooms, for networking or things like that, but ideal for basically any type of cables. If you need to go through walls or through the floor, through a desktop or ceiling tiles, it's really, really easy, and it's much more tidy looking, and it protects your cables as they're passing through as well. Easy Portal doesn't require any special tools or skills to install, which is perfect for me. No skills when it comes to carpentry and things like that, but as long as you've got a hole saw, which I do, or some other kind of tool that will be able to cut the hole to the right size for your Easy Portal, depending on which one you buy. Easy Portal provides a clean pass-through for your cables, and it's complete with the finished flange, which I'm going to show you up close and personal here, on both sides of the hole. It's customizable to meet your needs with port diameters all the way from itty-bitty ones like this, 1/2 inch, to 2 inches. And this guy here is the 2-inch model, or maybe a little bit bigger than that. This one is a custom one that we had built. But I have a 3-inch hole saw in order to drill the hole that I need for this particular Easy Portal. So keep in mind, of course, the diameter is the inner diameter. So when you're ordering it, that's the size of the hole, not the actual size that's going to be required for the hole through your wall. So just keep that in mind. In addition to that, the thickness of your wall can be anywhere from 0.4 inches, so very, very small, to 16.15 inches. So the smaller one is really ideal for, say, something like the ceiling tile. So this is going to be great when we're doing lighting, if you need to hang a projector in your projector room or something like that with a drop ceiling. This will go perfectly on the tile. So you just drill the hole, screw it together, and you've got this nice little pass-through for the cables to go through. And of course you can choose the diameter. If you need something wider for the HDMI cable or something like that, you can go with something that's going to be, smaller this way, but a little bit larger as far as the hole diameter goes. If you contact ameriDroid at the time of your order, you can even custom print your Easy Portal in any of the 13 colors that they have available. So in my case, I actually wanted to have a different color on each side of the wall, with the green being in the main studio since that matches our logo color, and white in the production side because the walls in there are like a light gray. So while there's a modest fee for the second color, ameriDroid was even able to accommodate that request. So it's very, very custom. Plus, as I mentioned, this is an oversized version, a little bit bigger than what's generically available on their site. So I just requested that we get a larger conduit for the amount of HDMI cables and things that I have to pass through for the studio, and they were more than happy to oblige me on that. So very, very cool. Easy Portal are custom, and they are 3D printed at ameriDroid. So I want to be clear about that. Due to the very process of 3D printing, you're going to get some kind of imperfections visibly, but you can see that that is not affecting the performance of the product at all. So that just screws together and clamps onto the wall. Very, very simple, but very, very nice. So the imperfections are, it's not going to affect your usability whatsoever. But if that's a problem for you, just keep in mind these are 3D printed products. So you can see here there is a little bit of imperfection on the visible area. It's very, very minor. And you could actually, just like any 3D printed product, you could, if you wanted to, use a fine grit wet sandpaper and sand that down if you wanted to. You could paint them if you wanted to, but again, the imperfections are just because of the 3D print. And I think that is very, very good. And in fact, this, I'm quite impressed with this. It's really, really good quality and exactly what I needed. So let's see how easy it really is and get the Easy Portal installed. So there you have it. That's Easy Portal from ameriDroid.com. Don't forget, as you're checking out, use our coupon code CAT5TV supporter. $1 will come off of your final order, but they will in turn know that you saw this video, and they will throw some money in the Category 5 TV tip jar to help support what we do here at the show. So I appreciate that very much. Whether you're just trying to pass some cables through your drop ceiling or wall or desk at home, or whether you're a contractor, I mean, these are very practical, very easy to install, and anyone can do it if I can do it. And they're very affordable too. So because of the customizability, I think there's just no end to what you could do with these. So, you know, in our case here, we installed one between the two studio spaces for all the HDMI cables, but you can obviously do more. These are going to be used for the lighting that we're going to be hanging off of our drop ceiling. So we're going to get to that as well. But you can get them on ameriDroid.com. Just make sure that you reach out to them when you place your order to request your specific colors and things like that. Thanks for watching. So just so you know, folks, Jeff and I had the opportunity to talk about what we were seeing when the music was playing. So if you watch back on the fully produced version of that, you'll get that banter.
Yeah.
Talking about why on the other side the little bit of drywall was the way it was, broken up at the bottom and everything else. So make sure you check out the edited version. So we're coming back from a commercial break at this point. Welcome back. This is Category 5 Technology TV, and our website is category5.tv. Jeff, it's great to see you. It's nice to kind of have everything slowly getting back to normal and having, you know, this is how things are at the moment. But lots of things are going to be changing over the next couple of weeks. I don't know. Perhaps, you know, if you follow us on, if you're a Kickstarter supporter or a patron, you have a bit more of, well, a lot more of behind the scenes knowledge about what's going on. So in the next couple of days, so the contractor is going to be back again tomorrow.
I see he's done some work already.
We're doing some more backdrops. I've got all kinds of backdrops that are going up into the system so that we can pull down different colors and things like that behind us. We've got some really great stuff that's happening. We're getting the wiring is going to be finished, and right now the Easy Portal has made it a lot better to get the cables from the cameras and things like that, but there's still like the TV that we're looking at when we're on the air, and so cables are hanging down from that, and I've got an extension cord going to a power outlet, so all that's being hidden in the walls and everything else. So there's so much that has to be done, and I'm so eager for things to get to the point where we can have an open house and have everybody in and show you around, and there's already plans in place that regardless of whether that can happen in person, we are going to be doing a virtual open house. So,
awesome.
So there will be an opportunity to have a tour de la studio regardless of whether you're local or remote or able to come and visit us or not, there will be that opportunity. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And we'll shoot you with some paintballs while we're at it.
Sure.
So we've got to head over to the newsroom. Here is Becca.
Here's what's coming up in the Category5.tv newsroom. Toshiba shuts the lid on laptops after 35 years. The discovery of salt bound to water molecules on Ceres, the largest asteroid in the solar system, suggests that there may be an ocean lurking beneath the Okator crater. A convincing phishing scam is targeting cPanel users with a fake security advisory. A teenager has spent nearly $20,000 in Twitch donations with their mother's debit card. And Google is creating a worldwide Android phone-powered earthquake alert system. Stick around, the full details and this week's Crypto Corner are coming up.
This is the Category5.tv newsroom, covering the week's top tech stories with a slight Linux bias.
From the newsroom, I'm Becca Ferguson. It's official, Japanese giant Toshiba has sold its final stake in the personal computer maker Dynabook, which means the firm no longer has a connection with making PCs or laptops. Sharp bought 80% of Toshiba's personal computing arm in 2018 for $36 million, 27 million pounds, and has now bought the remaining shares, Toshiba said in a statement. Toshiba's first laptop, the T1100, launched in 1985. It weighed 4 kilograms and worked with 3.5-inch floppy disks. According to the Toshiba Science Museum website, it was launched only in Europe at first and had an annual sales target of just 10,000 units. In the year 2011, Toshiba sold more than 17 million PCs, but my, how times have changed. By 2017, this had fallen to just 1.9 million. In 2016, it had ceased making consumer laptops for the European market, focusing only on hardware for businesses. Recent years have been difficult for the conglomerate. In 2015, the firm posted a full-year loss of $318 million. That same year, its president and vice president resigned after an independent panel found the company had overstated its profits for the previous 6 years. Last year, they wound up their nuclear business NewGen in the UK after failing to find a buyer for it. Consumer demand for laptops has soared in the last few months because of the coronavirus pandemic and global lockdowns, but overall, the market for personal computers has been tough for quite a while. Analyst Marina Kocheva from the firm CCS Insight says only those who have managed to sustain scale and price, like Lenovo, or have a premium brand like Apple, have succeeded in the unforgiving PC market, where volumes have been falling for years. The results of a major exploration mission showed Monday that the dwarf planet Ceres, long believed to be a barren space rock, is an ocean world with reservoirs of seawater beneath its surface. Maria Cristina de Santi from the National Institute for Astrophysics in Italy says of the discovery, "I'm extremely excited to find some evidence of liquid water, together with the fact that this body has a lot of minerals, very interesting for the formation of life. It's a good combination of chemical compounds that help in forming biological molecules." De Sancti and her colleagues analyzed high-resolution images of Ceres taken by the Dawn spacecraft, which orbited the dwarf planet between 2015 and 2018 before it ran out of fuel. In its final phase, the spacecraft orbited just 35 kilometers above the surface of Ceres, focusing on the Category crater. She and her team were able to identify salt by comparing data, including images and spectral analysis, from the Dawn spacecraft with equivalent analysis of chemicals here on Earth. Earlier observations of bright deposits on the crater had hinted at the presence of salty water underneath, but the discovery of hydrated sodium chloride provides much stronger evidence of an underground ocean. Impact fractures on the surface of the Category crater, analyzed in a separate study, suggest the ocean is some 40 kilometers below the surface, although the exact size is unknown. "It's pretty large," says De Sancti, adding that the presence of such a large body will certainly have influenced the geology of Ceres, with water coming up from below the surface and bringing minerals with it. Ralph Jaumann of the Free University of Berlin in Germany says, "The mineralogy is unique and so far not observed on other solar system bodies." Jaumann says these findings demonstrate that even small bodies like Ceres could have water in their interior. A clever phishing scam is targeting cPanel users with a fake security advisory alerting them of critical vulnerabilities in their web hosting management panel. cPanel is administrative software commonly installed on shared web hosting services that allow website owners to easily administer their site through a graphical user interface. Starting last week, cPanel and Web Host Manager, WHM, users began reporting a targeted phishing email campaign with an email subject of cPanel Urgent Update Request that was pretending to be a security advisory from the company. This fake advisory stated that updates had been released to fix security concerns in cPanel and WHM software and recommends all users install the updates. In addition to a well-worded email with little or no grammar and spelling issues, the threat actors use language commonly found in security advisories. The attackers registered the domain cpanel7831.com to make the scam appear as an authentic advisory from cPanel and are using Amazon Simple Email Service, SES, to send out the emails. If a recipient of this phishing email falls for the scam and clicks on the Update Your cPanel and WHM installations, they were brought to a website that prompted a user to log in with their cPanel credentials. As this is a well-done and convincing scam, it would not be surprising if some users fell for the scam. If you received a similar email recently and entered your login credentials at this site, it is strongly suggested that you immediately log in to your web hosting provider and change the password on your account. You should then perform a complete audit of your site while paying extra attention to the addition of strange PHP files that can be used as backdoors. Also, be sure to examine the website's .ht file for changes that automatically inject malicious code into every web page or redirect visitors.
That's an interesting story.
Not yet. Oh. Oh, yeah. Well, we were going to talk about that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I had to adjust the teleprompter. That's why I was a little bit late. Sorry, take it away.
All right. That's an interesting story because for a lot of people who don't have a lot of background knowledge in web development, to be able to go to a DIY web hosting service where you could build your own website with your own cPanel, it seems like such an easy thing. But most people wouldn't have that tech knowledge to recognize a phishing scam when it came to the cPanel.
Sure.
And I mean, some of the stuff that they get access to if you give them login credentials can really cause problems.
Yeah, like if they have Linux access.
Yeah.
But certainly, I mean, any like cheap hosting solution is going to have some kind of a portal, whether it's cPanel or otherwise.
Yep.
But you think about cPanel and as you say, a novice user signing up for the $5 hosting account, not really up on the latest security trends, could be dangerous. Same thing we see with WordPress. Like,
exactly.
You get a WordPress site because you think it's easy to set up and administer yourself, but you don't realize necessarily, I am generalizing, but maybe you don't realize that that leads to major security implications if you are not on the up and up.
It's true.
Super careful.
So for somebody who's sitting there going, I do my own website. I just happen to update my security.
I use cPanel. I just gave my login to these hackers.
Like what? I know that Becca covered in the story. Checking some certain things. But what are some?
I think she hit on the first thing I would do is check for any recently modified files. And on a Linux server, it's really easy because you can do a find-m time and sort by the time that the file was last modified.
Okay,
and
that's good.
so you can see any file that was modified in the last 10 days. And if you don't, if you uploaded your site 6 months ago, you know that, hey, those files are suspect. So you can look at them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a virus. It's not like you can run a virus scan and find the malware. No, it's like perfectly legit tools that they're using to allow them to command and control your website.
Yep.
Or even going so far, using the WordPress example, of creating users. cPanel, same thing. Maybe they create users. Maybe they add an SMTP account so they can use your mail server for sending spam.
That's right.
That's a big one. Yeah.
So if somebody doesn't have the tech knowledge to go in, take a look at their account, what's another way that they could deal with that? Go through the hosting provider and say, hey, can you check my account?
Jeff, if you really have that low of a knowledge when it comes to that kind of thing,
you shouldn't be doing
your self-hosting.
Right.
Yeah. Realistically, if you're
for sure.
If you're not familiar with terms like FTP, SFTP, and what the difference between those two things is, SSH, SSL, SMTP, POP3, IMAP, if you don't know what any one of those terms are, MySQL, MariaDB. If you don't know what any of those words mean, then self-hosting is not for you.
That's right.
Again, I'm being general, but those are red flags for me, and you don't want to find yourself in a situation where, yes, I'm saving money on hosting, but part of that is that you are relinquishing the desire to pay someone to maintain.
That's right.
And putting that all on you.
Yep.
So it works great if you're knowledgeable and you're getting the $5 a month hosting account or whatever, right, as an example, because you're able to do that maintenance yourself. But this is where church websites become illicit websites.
Yes.
And other business websites become defaced, and data theft occurs, and some companies are, irreparably have their reputation damaged.
Yes.
Because of these things.
Well, and also if you have a website where you're doing any monetary payments, if you're receiving customer payments, like
that's a whole other can of worms you're getting into there, Jeff.
Well, yeah, but you've got to be careful for that kind of stuff. So please, 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 number one, change your password, just like Becca said. And number two, start going through the files on your server to make sure something hasn't changed. If you haven't logged into your cPanel for a security update, chances are you're probably not hit by this. But if you did, you need to start doing some checking. So
Good advice.
Yeah.
We've got more coming up. A teenager has spent nearly $20,000 in Twitch donations on their mother's debit card.
Ouch.
And Google is creating a worldwide Android phone-powered earthquake alert system. Becca has these stories coming up, plus Robert is here with the Crypto Corner, so don't go anywhere.
Cuckoo.
Welcome to the world of cryptos and welcome to the Crypto Corner. Now it has been an interesting week, hasn't it? Let's take a look at it. If we look at CoinGecko, which is my current favorite directory, then we see that the market cap has increased since we spoke last time to 364 billion, with a small decrease at the moment of 2.7%, which is normal, nothing unusual there. If we look at the top coins, also nothing unusual here. Well, we've got Chainlink with minus 8%, but it had an increase of already 40% in the last 7 days. And as always, we sort by those 7 days and then the picture changes significantly. Normally, we have got around 15 to 20 coins that achieve more than 15%. This time, we've got over 50 coins that achieve more than 15%. And I guess that one or the other of you is contemplating in investing in cryptos now. And there, I'd like to just give you some recommendations. The first is, if somebody recommends something to you, just be very careful, because not everybody has got your best interest in mind, and you can do the same research they are doing. So let's take a look at here, Band Protocol. That's an oracle like Chainlink. If I click on this one here, I'm just showing you how this system works. Then we have got here the current price. Here's the website. So if you click on this here, you will be redirected to the website. Medium.com, that's publications. Etherscan, this is an ERC20 coin, so based on Ethereum. Then you've got the Reddit, Twitter, Telegram. So that's whether you see the community talking about this coin. And if we scroll a little bit further down, then we have got the numbers of this coin. So in the last 30 days, Band increased by 600%. Currently, we've got a retracement of 23%. Also, I would say this is normal here. And if you're interested in buying something, then there's some interesting numbers. Like, for example, what was the all-time high? It was $17. So that's 1 day ago. As you can see here, 1 day ago, we achieved all-time high here. And the all-time low, which was November 25th on 2019, so 9 months ago, it increased 6,399% from that day. So that's interesting statistics. So probably I would not invest in something that just had its all-time high, because I assume that short-term there will be no significant growth in it. If you're interested in anyway buying, then you click here on markets. In markets, you have got all those exchanges listed that are trading, where you can trade Band. So on Binance, you have got 2 or 3 possibilities: one Band with USDT, with Tether, with Bitcoin, and with the Binance coin. Here you see the price, so of course they will be all more or less the same. And then you've got the depth. The depth means how far can you go before there is a significant impact on the price. Yeah, so if I go, for example, into Hotbit, no idea what type of exchange it is, and I want to buy for $1,000, then I will get significantly higher price than those $13.13. Whereby if I've got $1,000 to invest in Binance with Binance, then it will have no effect. Oh, this is the price I will get. So this is how you read the plus 2% and the minus 2%. It's an interesting number if you want to invest in coins, because some of those coins that people are recommending as the next big thing have got absolutely no liquidity. And then it's difficult to buy something, and it's very difficult to sell also something. Yeah. And once you have bought something, my recommendation is always not your keys, not your coins. So the recommendation is, as always, to put it either on a ledger, which is this year, or on a Trezor, which is this year, because that's currently the state of art in regards to the security of cryptos. If you're planning to buy one of those, then go only to the original website and buy it there. Don't buy it on Amazon, because you can. I heard sometimes some of those hardware wallets have been compromised. So always go to the original. It takes you probably 4 weeks or 3 weeks longer to receive that device, but I think that investment is a very important and very good investment. Otherwise, be very careful in where you're investing. Do your research. Don't trust. Listen to what experts have to say, whether they recommend Band or Chainlink or whatever they recommend, but then do your own research. I showed you how to do that. So you go into every website and see where you want to put your money there. And last but not least, also be very careful with exchanges, because they're exchanges that are dangerous. So, Binance, Coinbase, and so they are here from the Western world. You can more or less trust them, although I would never keep, as I said, never keep any coins on those exchanges. But you never know. If you have to do KYC, in other words, you have to give your passport picture or driving license, address, telephone number to these exchanges. You don't know what they're doing with that. Like in the case of Coinbase, they said that they're going to sell your data. So I don't know if that's in your interest. Anyway, that's it from me today. So I hope you enjoyed, you learned something. I wish you a fantastic week, and I really hope we'll be seeing each other next week again. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Robert. And just a reminder that we're not providing financial advice, but only sharing what's happening in the cryptocurrency market. Always remember that cryptocurrency markets are ever-changing and always volatile, so you should only spend what you can afford to lose.
I don't like it when Robert says things that make me scared. It's like, yeah, I gave my driver's license to Coinbase. Should I be worried now? Robert, comments? Oh, I don't know. While we're thinking about that, we're going to throw back to Becca in the newsroom.
Thank you, Robbie. A teenage Twitch viewer sent $19,870 USD to several streamers using his mother's debit card over the course of 2 weeks. The teen's mother found the charges toward the card between June 14th to June 30th, claiming years of savings were taken from her account over the 2-week period. She says these donations went to popular streamers on the platform. The mother, who has decided to remain anonymous to protect her family, says that nearly all the money she lost has been credited back to her account. After struggling to contact anyone at Twitch to discuss the issue, the woman successfully received a refund from the streaming site's paying service, Zola. Using the company's online chat feature, she got adjusted credits on nearly all transactions, but in exchange was told the account is permanently blocked to prevent future unauthorized charges. Before contacting Zola, however, she attempted to communicate with Amazon and even resorted to sending a registered letter to Twitch CEO Emmett Shearer. When all else failed, she tried contacting her bank, but they could only provide further assistance if she was willing to press charges against her son. She found out about Zola by discovering other parents online who also had found success in similar situations. Although she was able to receive most of her money, she said hitting a brick wall with Twitch was the most frustrating thing of all. The fact that no one would respond and there was no way to speak with anyone was horrible, she said. That was probably the worst. The son is remorseful, according to the mother, and is going to counseling. He's also been limited to 1 hour of monitored daily playtime, with a stipulation that he must do positive activities throughout the day, get exercise, and interact with the family in a positive manner.
You know, as a father of young kids that are very engrossed in YouTubers and all that kind of stuff, this story makes me go, whew, am I glad I've not given my kids my debit card.
When I first got an Amazon Fire TV stick, I made the mistake of not setting a PIN.
Oh no.
And of course, you're logged into your Amazon account.
Yeah.
So I was at work, and suddenly my phone started blowing up. I'm like, what is going on? So finally, I pulled out my phone because I'm getting all these notifications, one after another after another. And I look at my phone, and I'm seeing Amazon charges one after another after another.
Oh no.
To the tune of $450. Now, nothing like $20,000, but so this
still.
was a case where my son was playing a video game.
Yep.
And he determined that if he put 0000 as the PIN, because that was the default,
Yep.
that he could buy anything in the game.
Not realizing it was
Realizing it was actually off my credit card.
So did you get it refunded?
I did. Amazon is fantastic.
That's
for
good.
that kind of thing. So they reversed it and no problem whatsoever. But I can feel that stress that this woman must have been going through to realize $20,000 gone from my debit card. And that makes me think, like, is this a failure in our electronic system right now? I mean, I think this about TAP and how 3-4 years ago at the Toronto Santa Claus Parade, somebody had a TAP receiver attached to their phone. You know how you can get these devices? And they went through the parade and they stole $20 at a time just by approaching people's pockets.
Yes.
And so walked away with thousands and thousands of dollars. And I don't even know. I never heard if they ever got caught.
Oh, I'm sure they would have. Everything's traceable.
So but it just makes me think about debit cards, how they have the Visa logo now.
Yes. And so, like, that has happened to my wife. She had a Visa debit.
Yeah.
And
remember when debit was the safe card?
Right. I remember that. I want to say it was maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
She went to use her debit card and she couldn't use it.
Oh,
and she's like, what's going on?
Oh, no.
Went online and found out that her account was locked for suspicious activity. So she looked in.
So at least they're doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
So she looked into it, and over the course of 3 days, there was hundreds of dollars in food purchases from all over California using the Visa debit function. So somehow somebody had gotten her Visa debit information and was making food purchases, and so
because it operates just like a Visa.
Exactly, yeah. And so it was no big deal to do like $20 to this pizza joint, $30 to this restaurant, and so whoever it was doing it. Now, thankfully, she got all of her money back. It all got returned. Yeah. But I mean, in the case of this story, so I mean, there's a couple things here. One is, how did the kid get the debit card, or was it just registered to the account anyway?
From mom's wallet,
right?
And it's.
But second, you'd think the bank accounts, most debits have a daily limit of $1,000.
True.
And so if he dropped 20 grand over a 2-week period, either she had a higher daily limit or there was no limit on it.
I'm thinking Mama has $20,000 in the bank. She probably has a higher limit than I do.
Well, that's probably true. I don't think I've ever had $20,000.
Not all at once. Maybe just before my mortgage payment came out, just after the bank put the money in.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, but...
But the other thing is the fact that, you know, there are kids that are out there that are going, I want to donate to my favorite person. And I mean, my kids are always talking about their favorite YouTubers. And, our son with his Chromebook, like I have an email for him because he's at the age he can have an email now. And so I have the, master login for his email. And every once in a while, I'll just check up on what he's doing. And I'm finding, he's commenting on different YouTubers. And I'm going, okay, I need to have a conversation with him about internet awareness and whatnot. And so I'm now very aware of what is linked up to that account. Could he purchase this kind of stuff? And so you have to think very security conscious as a parent if you're going to start handing online accounts to your kids.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. Now, my producer is giving us the look that we need to move on.
Sorry.
But
I'm a blabber.
as a final thought on this particular story, as a content creator on platforms like YouTube, a Twitch creator who, that's the biggest, like, fear and burn. And even, I'll be honest with you, and some of you may or may not know this, but even having had such a successful Kickstarter campaign, right up until the moment that the money's in the bank, you're on the edge of your seat as a content creator thinking, what if they back down?
Right.
What if, I've basically budgeted these funds that have been donated, what if they
Don't pull through.
retroacted that? That would be a real bad situation for me as a content creator. So to these content creators who received that $20,000 from this child, from this teenager, and then had it reversed, where did that leave them? Like, that's such a hard situation. So there need to be things put in place to protect those content creators, the kids, the parents.
That's right.
There need to be, I hate to say regulations, that's not what I'm talking about, but maybe Twitch is irresponsible. Maybe they're partly to blame for this. Maybe there's something that needs to be said about that.
That opens a rabbit hole conversation that we can't go down. I know the producers
all
yelling at me.
I'm doing is just opening that box and just letting you dive in to comment below.
That's right.
What are your thoughts? And we're going to throw right back to Becca.
Google is creating a worldwide Android phone-powered earthquake alert system. The first part of that system rolled out Tuesday. If you opt in, the accelerometer in your Android phone will become one data point for an algorithm designed to detect earthquakes. Eventually, that system will automatically send warnings to people who could be impacted. It's a feature made possible through Google's strengths, the staggering numbers of Android phones around the world, and clever use of algorithms on big data. As with its collaboration with Apple on exposure tracing and other Android features like car crash detection and emergency location services, it shows that there are untapped ways that smartphones could be used for something important to the community at large. Google is rolling out the system in small stages. First, Google is partnering with the United States Geological Survey and the California Office of Emergency Services to send the agency's earthquake alerts to Android users in that state. Those alerts are generated by already existing Shake alert system, which uses data generated by traditional seismometers. Mark Stogadis, principal Android software engineer at Google, says, "It'd be great if there were just seismometer-based systems everywhere that could detect earthquakes. That's not really practical, and it's unlikely to have global coverage because seismometers are extremely expensive. They have to be constantly maintained. You need a lot of them in an area to really have a good earthquake early warning system." So the second and third stages of Google's plan will be powered instead by the Android phones. The company is proceeding fairly cautiously, though. In the second stage, Google will show localized results in Google searches for earthquakes based on the data it's detecting from Android phones. The idea there is that when you feel an earthquake, you'll go to Google to see if that's what you felt or not. An Android phone can become a mini seismometer because it's an accelerometer, the thing that detects if you've rotated it or not. Android system uses the data from that sensor to see if the phone is shaking. It is only on when an Android phone is plugged in and not in use to preserve battery life. Once it has more confidence in the accuracy of the system, Google will begin actively sending out earthquake warnings to people who live in areas where there are not seismometer-based warning systems. Over the long term, Google hopes to create an API based on its earthquake detection system. It doesn't plan on using the system on iPhones, but if the API comes out, then Apple would be free to use it. More interesting, though, is what other systems would benefit from an earthquake detection API. For example, somebody could build something that automatically stops an elevator at the next floor and opens the door so that people can get out before the wave comes. And you can turn off gas valves automatically. You can have something that stops medical procedures or open the door to fire stations ahead of time. That's a common problem in earthquakes, where fires are a big deal and firefighters often just can't get out. So you can build something that does that. Airplanes can stop landing as they're doing this, abort their landing. Trains can be slowed down. There's an entire ecosystem that can be enabled by using this Android-based detection and having it published server-side so that others can plug into it. Google's plan is to minimize false positives and tune the system right away, and users near earthquake fault zones will soon see info in Google searches and the inevitable rollout of local notifications.
It wasn't long ago, Jeff, that Simon Weckert, Berlin-based artist, took 99 Android smartphones, put them in a red wagon, and walked down the main street that was completely devoid of vehicles.
That's right.
And yet, Google's Maps service showed that there were traffic jams everywhere he went.
Right.
Because there's 99 Android phones. So, you know, I hate to put the thought in people's heads, but this is the thing with an Android-based system such as this. While it sounds amazing, while it sounds like, hey, this is a very brilliant idea, how hard is it to take a Raspberry Pi Zero and a motor and connect it to one centralized server and share the diagrams of that online and say, okay, everybody, I want you to build this. Take a Raspberry Pi, plug it into this motor, put your phone in this motor when you go to bed. And because it's internet connected, they can set off all the phones vibrating like this in any area of the world where they have these devices. It'd be so easy.
Yep.
It's such an easy hack. So it's like, how can they trust that data?
Well,
I think
exactly.
An accelerometer to detect earthquake.
Oh, well, and that's the thing. Like, this is an amazing thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
But with amazing ideas also comes the amazing ability to mess with it thanks to human beings.
Yeah.
I mean, not only
We're
that.
terrible.
Like, what if you have, you know, if somebody decides to use it as a type of social attack, so to speak, where there's a group of 15, 20 people, they all have their phones, they congregate in a particular area, and they just sit there and start shaking their phone. And if they all start going off,
synchronize it with like Raspberry Pis through the internet. Like you could actually like pick a spot and make an earthquake on Google Maps because it's just. So it'll be interesting to see if that's.
Now my watch is telling me I'm exercising.
Oh really? You got steps just there. Nice.
I got steps. This is great.
Brilliant. Just quickly before Becca wraps things up, Robert Koenig from the Crypto Corner says, "Hey, with Coinbase, Robbie, you should be okay. They are selling your data to the government, though." And
okay, but that's because they're centralized.
Yeah, and I just like, can I assume that the government knows everything about me, anyways? But
probably.
Yes.
But would that be for tax? Would that be like IRS tax purposes?
Yeah, I suppose so. But I mean, selling my info to the government. So I don't hold my crypto in a centralized exchange at all. However, I do use the exchange to transfer funds between U.S. dollars and Bitcoin, for example.
Yep.
So, SadSack963 makes a really good comment about the debit card issue and a child being able to use mom's credit card, and says, what if or debit card? What if these debit cards had 2FA?
Oh, that'd be phenomenal.
That'd be superb. So what if there was 2FA on your debit card that somehow you know, whether you pull out an authenticator token or the authenticator app on your phone, whatever it is that you need to use.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think that's very, very smart. So thanks for submitting that. Becca.
Big thanks to Roy W. Nash and our community of viewers for submitting stories to us this week. Thanks for watching the Category5.tv newsroom. Don't forget to like and subscribe for all your tech news with a slight Linux bias. And if you appreciate what we do, become a patron at patreon.com/Category5. From the Category5.tv newsroom, I'm Becca Ferguson.
Gosh, she's cute. We have the same last name. You figure it out. Well, it's been great having you here this week. That's 660 weeks of Category 5 under our belt.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far, and we've got some exciting things to come. You just check out our website, category5.tv. Scroll down on the homepage, and you'll see some of that stuff that's up and coming. Also, there is a coffee break this Sunday at noon, so make sure you join us for that. Again, our website, category5.tv. Scroll down, find the coffee break, and you'll get the Zoom meeting ID and be able to join us for that community break.
Good times.
I will see you again next week. It's been nice having you here, nice having you here. And,
Glad to be here.
Thanks for supporting the show, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Aight.
Thanks, everybody.
Good times.
I don't have a way to turn it off from here.
The downside to having a separate server room.
Oh, darn, eh? Yeah, you can't hear the servers to know if they're running. There we go. Kill the ISOs. There we are. ISOs are down. Live feed is still up.
Okay.
Well, thanks, everybody. And we're going to shut everything off. Turn off the lights.
Oh, that was good. You know what? I have missed Cat 5 because there's been
Miss
like
it all.
COVID and then your vacation. It's like, it's good.
Call me Shredder. See ya.
It's funny. I play a mobile game, Star Trek, and one of my alts is nicknamed Ginger Ninja. And I've been putting on the mask. I'm like, I truly am a Ginger Ninja. It's good times. Good times. So, all right.
Okay, dude.